Hey everyone, this is Sara Elise in Toronto, Canada, and I'm just going to send this out quickly to my newsletter community. The last time I sent anything out, I think it was at the first eclipse gate in October of 2023. I've been silenced for a good 6 months, and this eclipse season has been really difficult for me, going into a lot of very deep and very, very intense places where I'm finding myself just facing myself, all the places inside me that reject the world or that fake themselves, that pretend to be something other than what they are because I'm just not happy or content to show up as I really am, which is, sad and like in pain, right? And I think that that's what this eclipse really is invoking for us all right now. Because Chiron, the planet of pain or the archetype of the wound, is exact degree conjunct this new moon in Libra or in Aries, sorry, 19.24 minutes. I'm going to just like show you a picture of this. I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing, the exactitude here. Let me take you here for a second, guys. This is the moment of our eclipse today. This is cast for Toronto, 2:22 p.m. We've got Sun, Chiron, and Moon all at 19.24. Like, how does that even happen? That there is such an exact alignment at the moment of an eclipse. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's so cool, and it's also just so evocative of like a really big commitment or a really big declaration. And the declaration is of self, right? It's of me. It's like this is my life. I don't care whether I've fucked it up in the past or whether I have failed myself. If I don't step forward from this moment on with my back, having my own back, then there's no point moving forward. There's no point stepping out, right? That this is a moment of declaration, of ownership of yourself, of choosing to fight for yourself, despite the fact that there's pain there. And I swear, Chiron is so excruciating. Not always. See, it's an odd archetype, Chiron. What I understand of Chiron and what I've been shown in my own little do 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 download reality is that it is the way the higher self enters the body. The higher self will come in on that line of pain, and the pain will draw the higher self down. The egoic part of us wants to escape the pain or avoid it, so it creates aberrations to either side of it, or masks or false projections or little characters that it will engage in. But when we have the courage to just face who we are and to be vulnerable or to be real and not turn away, that's when consciousness, what we are, wakes up to itself, and the line of self is able to express clearly and strongly. And Chiron, that, I've always, when I used to meditate with Chiron, I would get this crucifix on my forehead, like it would feel like there was a sacrifice that happens through Chiron. And the Latin root of sacrifice is to make holy or to make sacred. Sacrifice is not about giving up something. It's about accepting the sacredness of something. And sometimes we have to accept the sacredness of our own suffering, and that in doing so, we are humbled. And humility is not about, oh, I'm so shitty, take everything from me, I'm nothing, you're everything. That's not humility. The real root of humility, or the meaning of the core meaning in humility, is to be yourself, no more, no less. To be yourself, no more, no less. And that is the most difficult thing for some of us to do, right? Particularly in the Pluto and Libra generation, because all of us are working on Aries lessons of self. And any of you out there who have Chiron in Aries, it's not simple to be the self when you have this wound of self that sits underneath the surface. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to throw this very short little video out there because like there's like kind of like eclipse madness going on right now, and I've honestly since last eclipse gate in October, like the first eclipse happened like about a week after the Palestine Israel thing erupted, and it was so big, like my emotions got all wonky. I haven't like really been engaging in the astrology world a lot in that time. I've been focusing on something deeper, deeper than just the, you know, the news, the astrological news. Like, and I've been finding it very fractious for me to engage in this. It's almost like it's almost like sports casting for the planets. Like, and I've been like really just focusing on my one-on-one client work and going really, really deep into that and finding like a real sacredness there for me. So I just, you know, I'm sorry that I haven't sent a lot of stuff out. It just hasn't, there's not been the compulsion to do that, but I would like to remedy that and kind of come back a little bit. So you might be hearing more from me if you care to, and but perhaps just in a slightly different way, you know, like I like to say something when I feel like there's something that I want to say rather than just like repetitively kind of filling space, you know what I mean, with astrological sportscasting. Like I can't, it's too, no, it's too loud for me. Like I get complicated and confused. I don't understand. It's like, oh my God, is there enough noise in the world right now, you know, that I want to just go into the silence or whatever. So, but this is my attempt to kind of, you know, put something out that might be of assistance or that might offer you some reflection within this chaos that's happening. I mean, I've heard the craziest things about this eclipse, and I'm like, wait a second, you know, let's make it really simple. Like the archetype, Aries, self, starting a new cycle of self, fighting for the self, right? Saturn is conjunct the ruler of this eclipse, Mars, in Pisces, fighting for the sacredness of self, Mars conjunct Saturn in Pisces, honoring and disciplining our alignment, our will. What are you doing with your will today? Where are you putting it? Are you allowing yourself to focus on something more, on something sacred inside you, right? Are you allowing yourself to move forward in a way that is instinctually right for you? What's your future? What are your choices? This is sort of the energy of this eclipse for me. Now, I'm going to leave it there. I have a class to teach in 30 minutes, so it was great to hang out with you, and we'll see you on the other side. Good luck today. Around 2:22 p.m. Eastern Standard is when this puppy will come to its climactic center. Mwah. Bye-bye.